Greetings, my dear truth seekers. In 2018, when Putin won the next presidential election, he assembled a new government of the country and gave a special order. In particular, he ordered the government to develop stimulating economic development levers so that in 2024, Russia would be in the top 5 world's largest economies. Back then, Western countries, including representatives of the American government, began to ridicule those Putin's order. The West mockingly declared that Russia would never be able to enter the top 5 world's largest economies in 2024, since for this, Moscow would have to overtake Germany, which in principle is not possible to do. However, as time has shown, Putin beat everyone again, turning the West into the subject of all kinds of jokes. So, a few days ago, the World Bank, owned by globalists, published an official rating of world economies for 2022. According to this rating, Russia entered the top 5 world's largest economies, beating out countries such as Germany, France, Canada, and the United Kingdom. At the moment, the Russian economy is considered the largest in Europe. Thus, Putin's order, which he gave in 2018, was executed ahead of schedule. According to the World Bank, the volume of Russian GDP at purchasing power parity has reached $5,327 billion. The World Bank also said that by 2030, this figure could reach almost $6 billion. At this rate, by 2027, Russia will also overtake Japan, whose economy has not developed since the mid-90s. Reading the articles of Western experts on this topic, you can feel their state of shock. Western countries, including the United States, cannot believe their eyes. All their predictions about Russia turned out to be wrong. While Western propaganda was creating fairy tales about Russia's weakness, Moscow was surely moving towards its goal. According to independent analysts, by 2070, Russia will even be able to take first place in the ranking of the world's largest economies, overtaking China. The regions such as Donbass and Zaporizhia, which are considered the richest not only in Eastern Europe but also in the Black Sea Basin, will greatly help Russia in this. But how did Russia manage to achieve such a breakthrough in the economy? The fact is that the Russian economy began to grow rapidly in 2019. Surprisingly, the pandemic in March 2020 played into the hands of the Russian economy. Strict worldwide quarantine forced the Russian government to look for new ways to support the economy. As a result, the domestic sector received not only support from the government, but also stable ground for further development. Moreover, the economic war with the West and the fighting in Ukraine has led to the fact that the Russian economy has received a tremendous impetus for further development. As a result, Russia switched to full import substitution, which led to the fact that the dependence of the Russian economy on the sale of oil and gas has significantly decreased. At the moment, Russian factories produce everything, starting from cars and ending with electronics. Moreover, Russia's military-industrial complex works at 250%, producing weapons 3 times more than all Western countries combined. And now imagine what is happening now with Ursula von der Leyen, who in March last year claimed that Russia is finished, and that Moscow will lose not only the economic war, but also on the battlefield. No doubt, she's tearing her hair out with anger right now,